And this 160-page platform, well, what's inside? Let's take a closer look. Check this out. The party platform includes a promise to recover 1 million jobs, enact an anti-corruption law, implement a Canadian mental health action plan, build Canada's domestic vaccine production capacity, and balance the budget over the next 10 years. And so that's the 5 big plans. There's lots more in there on childcare and lots more. What's the price tag? Well, they haven't had it yet. As you heard Erin O'Toole say, Parliamentary Budget Officer is pricing it right now. So why release it so early? And what else is inside the big plan? Well, CTV's senior political correspondent, Glen McGregor, is not quite on the road. He's actually still here in Ottawa on the virtual road. So you don't get to travel too much in the early part of the campaign. Glen, run through this for me. What are the big highlights of this?
Lots of emphasis on pandemic recovery, helping businesses, loans, investment incentives, tax credits, a 50% wage subsidy for newly hired employees that would take effect once the current wage subsidy for current employees ends sometime in October. There's also a lot of little kind of small stuff that reminds me of a little bit of sort of the Stephen Harper era by appealing directly to consumers. There is a 50% rebate on restaurant bills for food and non-alcoholic beverages. So, Evan, you won't be able to write off your Chateau Lafayette or anything like that. But this would apply from Mondays to Wednesdays, kind of a stimulus effort for the hospitality sector. Would last a month. He's also proposing a GST holiday of a month sometime in the fall to help the retail sector. So lots of little things like that. But I think the things that are going to be really controversial, Evan, is the plan to repeal these deals that the Trudeau government has been doing with the provinces to support $10 a day daycare. O'Toole would scrap that, roll those back, and instead give tax credits up to 75% of the costs of daycare to families. They say this will help lower and middle income families more, wealthier families less so. But the catch here, though, is that they would still have to pay for those daycare fees, and we know very high in some parts of the country, up over $2,000 per child, I think, in somewhere in Vancouver and Toronto. And then presumably they would get some of that money back at tax time. This part of the platform is going to be a harder sell, I think, especially in Quebec, where people there, parents really, really like the subsidized daycare thing. O'Toole says, though, that those spots are great, those subsidized spots, but they're hard to get. And not everybody can get into one of those reduced cost spots. He says this is more universal and would help, Evan, all parents.
Yeah, the overall message you've got, he's going to create 1 million jobs. The 5-point plan, as you say, is going to repeal that childcare, the national childcare program the Liberals have pitched. I think 8 provinces have signed up on that, popular in places like Quebec. So interesting politics there. But as Stephanie Levitz from the Toronto Star told me today, what she was surprised with, and Glen, maybe your take, she said this is a spending platform, not a cutting one. So what kind of conservative is Erin O'Toole presenting himself as to Canadians?
Yeah, there's lots of new taxes he's talking about, including a 3% tax on digital companies, things like Netflix and Amazon, companies that make their money online, if they don't pay corporate tax in Canada. It's 3% of revenues. So that's a big tax. He's also talking about taxing PPE that's made in other countries. The intention there to develop a domestic source and kind of a protectionist measure that you wouldn't normally expect from a fiscal conservative government. But we don't know how much all this spending, taxing adds up to, because as you said, we haven't seen the numbers on this. There are no dollar figures attached to any of these promises. The reason for that is the Parliamentary Budget Officer, who is now in the habit of assessing party platforms, can't do that until the writs drop. So he was given this information on Friday by the party, and at some point in the next few weeks, we'll be able to kind of crunch the numbers, assess the true cost of them, and Erin O'Toole is committed to releasing that document when that comes out sometime later, maybe in the third or fourth week of the campaign. But yeah, it's an unusual strategy, releasing the platform uncosted this early in the campaign. It's also stylistically different. I mean, we saw even just the image on the front of the platform. It looks like a men's fitness magazine, a very fit, buff-looking Erin O'Toole dressed casually. We're used to seeing him mostly in suits and ties. So different image. And, remember, for a lot of Canadians, this is their first real look at Erin O'Toole. They don't know him that well. This is a way of getting out a different image than maybe we've seen in the past.
Yeah, they were rebranding him. Just in the last 20 seconds, it was interesting. First day of the campaign, he was dogged by the question about mandatory vaccinations for his candidates and federal workers. He kind of limped around it. He couldn't really answer it squarely. Late Sunday night, they put out a new position that it won't be mandatory, but people who get on planes, trains, buses, and federal workers who don't get vaccinated will have to take mandatory testing. How is that playing out today, and what do you make of that?
Yeah, well, one of the things that's in the platform too on that front is rapid testing, mandatory testing for anybody crossing the border, even essential workers and people not just flying into the country, at land borders too. Could you imagine if you have a lot of people who are unvaccinated trying to cross the land border, coming over from, say, Niagara Falls or at Peace Arch? Could be a lot of congestion there. I'm not sure how well they've thought this plan through. They really believe, the Conservatives do, in mandatory testing as a way of controlling the pandemic. They're fully behind it. And they also say that their plan for the federal public service for allowing the possibility of testing in lieu of full vaccination is essentially the same as Justin Trudeau's, because, as you know, you read that, you were asking Marco Mendocino about that earlier, about that letter from the federal government saying that that would be an option. Unclear, though, if they mean rapid testing, which rapid tests are not all that reliable, or opposed to PCR testing, which is considered kind of the gold standard of testing. We'll have to see how that plays out. It's an HR issue for the federal government, and now, evidently, a campaign issue.
Yeah, big one. All right, Glen McGregor, well, on the road if you consider he's got to take a bus home. Other than that, he'll get on the road eventually when the Conservatives do. Thanks, Glen.
Light rail.
Glen at the light rail, the Conservative headquarters in Ottawa.